cooler bag and the bottle of wine in the handbag, that your can will fit perfectly into a handbag as well, right?
A few cans, yeah, particularly for, for a friend or two, you could, it's easy. Cans are so convenient, and also cans are much more responsible. You don't have to drink the whole bottle because you can measure your consumption can for can, and it's much more responsible. And also, cans are infinitely recyclable, and they're also lighter weight, and everything is good about the can, and it doesn't change the flavor of the wine. It doesn't change the taste. It's very, very good preservation.
Oh, that's awesome. So, Patrick, is there anything else that you want to tell us?
Besides the fact that we are going to start the Great Wine Hunt again as soon as we're allowed to dispense wines, we had very great success, particularly here around the environs of Hart Bay. I'd write a quiz or a little riddle, and then I'd go out and hide a bottle of wine. For instance, one time I hid a bottle of red down the only unstopped cannon on the East Fort on Chapman's Peak in Hart Bay, and then I wrote a little riddle about how you might be able to find it if you could crack the riddle, and then I would post that on all the groups in Hart Bay and on social media, and then you would just be requested, once you'd found it, to take a photograph and post on social media. So we want to start those fun wine hunts with riddles again. And as we extend our reach into Joburg now again, and growing our reach into Joburg and Cape Town, we're going to do those wine hunts again, and they're going to be really fun. It's like an Easter egg hunt for adults.
Oh, that sounds awesome. Patrick, thank you so much for spending the time with us. I know you were busy. You were talking to your US importers because you're obviously planning to crack the US market. Do you have any news on that front, or is it still you were saying that sometimes it takes years before anything happens? How are you progressing? Can you share anything yet?
Well, we're now sort of 8 months in progressive-wise. So I think, again, true to form, it'll be on the year mark where we will probably send over our first few pallets as samples and initial, trials. Maybe pick on 2 or 3 states, maybe just 2 to start. And but it's very important to make sure that you have the right partners overseas. So that's not just suck it and see kind of thing. You've got to be really sure that it's the right fit and the right people to work with as far as importers and distributors are concerned in the States, because they work very differently to any other country with their 3-tier system, which is confusing for most part. But yeah, we'll probably be sending right on the year mark our first amounts, and definitely part of that portfolio, a large part of the portfolio will be our cans along with our bottled wines. So that's progressing nicely. We've had some very good interest from America.
Well, that's awesome. Patrick, thanks again for sponsoring the giveaway for tomorrow night's launch of the Prohibition Wine Bar. I can't wait for it to start. We are going to sit down and everybody's going to bring their own bottle of wine with a glass. We're going to zoom in, and we're going to have the world's first virtual wine bar experience. And we will legally actually protest the prohibition in South Africa because we will be naturally social distancing and drinking wine at home. And we'll all be there talking in the Prohibition Wine Bar about how this affects us, about life, how we can be more motivated. And I'm hopeful that you would be able to actually join us for a while tomorrow evening to drink a few glasses of wine with us and talk with us.
Yes, for sure, definitely, and it's a pleasure and an honor to offer the prize on the show, and absolutely welcome with that. And hopefully we can discuss over a few glasses of wine with all the other folk online the possibility of us making that water fountain, Adley Street, turn water into wine. I think there's something there, and hopefully with enough big names in the industry, we can make that happen.
Well, I think we need to discuss that over a case of wine tomorrow night, and see if we can actually get that done. I would love to see the fountains, the water fountains in Adderley Street overflow with wine. That would be something to behold.
Well, interestingly enough, they're lighting up Table Mountain and everywhere else with this red light. And I think if we can squirt out some red wine in that incredible fountain, sky high, and fill that fountain with red wine, um, and we all throw in some red wine as a protest. That so the mountains and everything else will be lit red, and we'll be turning the waters red into wine. So we'll be turning water into wine, making miracles, and getting the world to notice that we here in South Africa don't give up without a fight, and we don't roll over, and we don't give up. We carry on, and if you want to take us on, good luck, because we don't give up. So we're going to be there. We're going to be here today. We're going to be here tomorrow, and we're not going anywhere. So we're just going to fight and stand our ground, and we're going to win.
Well, I tell you what, Patrick, by tomorrow morning, actually later tonight, we'll have 30,000 people in this Facebook group that are all supporting this cause. And if I look at the international support, you're right. This industry is going nowhere. Actually, it will come. I think this industry will come out of this stronger than it's ever been before, because the industry has realized that it's really, in the eyes of the world, is an industry that people want to see. People want to see it succeed, and it's an industry that's creating a quality product. I mean, we just been talking about the product itself, but I've been saying many times now, if you've been traveling anywhere in the world, you will know that the tourism experience that you get in Cape Town and in surroundings and in the winelands, it's impossible to get that experience anywhere else in the world. And we don't always even we don't always appreciate or even know what we have, but we have a fantastic experience for international tourists. That's why they're coming here year after year. That's why they're sitting at home and want the South African wine industry and the tourism industry to survive and thrive, because they want to come back here and drink some wine. And you know yeah.
But this is exactly what I think, and from my marketing experience, sort of prods me to say that I think that our darkest hour is our best hour right now, because there's never been a better opportunity for brand wine South Africa, or wine brand South Africa, to be given a voice on the international stage, and this is it, and we should take it.
It seems like we've actually lost the live feed, Patrick. Sorry about that. I'm just thinking here, I'm needing to see if I can get my team to get this feedback on. We seem to have lost our
When do we
feed.
lose it?
We lost it about 5 minutes ago, looks like.
Okay.
And only on Facebook, it seems. So I don't know why we've lost this feed on Facebook, but it's still going on YouTube and running on Periscope. But I'm actually going to restart it on Facebook in 1 second. And how are you for time? Do
No,
we need
good.
to? Are you enjoying this?
Yeah, the family's gone to bed, so I'm a free agent into the night
Is it?
in my
So,
office.
so what are you going to do tomorrow night? Are you going to? I mean, are you going to be a free agent tomorrow night as well, or are you going to be under the? Are you going to be able to have a few drinks
Well,
online in the
I
television
have a
room?
wonderful friend coming over, and he's an entrepreneur, and he's fantastic. He's very motivating, and he's a wonderful guy, and he's coming over with his young daughter, and he's a single parent. And I'm going to invite him to the wine bar, the virtual Prohibition wine bar. And I love the idea of the Prohibition wine bar, and we're all going to join in. I'll get my wife involved as well, and I like the speakeasy. I like the speakeasy angle, and I think we should have a regular night, maybe a Friday night wine bar, online wine bar event. I really do. And the bigger the names we can bring in to maybe give us a story or two, like the the ex-marketing director, global marketing director of KWV, the brand Steenkamp. I mean, he's doing a lot of his Friesland family wine stories. Love to bring him on to tell a few stories. And there's lots of incredible doyens of the industry that have wonderful stories. I'd love to hear them. So they would be wonderful.
I can certainly contact the brain tomorrow. I've just interviewed him 2 podcasts ago. So
fantastic. Just tell him that Patrick has mentioned it and says hi. I would love to have him on. And he's been, he was very interested in our brand when he was still with KWV. But thankfully, nothing happened there because he had left there a few days or a few months later. And I say thankfully because when you're young, you don't know what you don't want to be a flower picked too early. And in any case, you need to go through the trouble and the hardship yourself. And luckily, we were left alone to do that, to go through our own hardships.
Well, amazing. So I think I'll definitely talk to the brain and see if we can get him involved with this. So yeah, amazing. Patrick, it seems that we have a problem with we actually did the live stream has come back on and go on again. So I'm not sure why that happened, but I suppose that is part of our new world, right? Is technology problems, and I think also technology will improve because of the situation. That's one other thing that will improve over time is actually technology and how we use technology to actually get your stories out. Um, and as you rightly said, every single brand needs to make sure they get their stories out more um, efficiently and out all the time.
Absolutely, technology is just going to improve. There's such a thing called the quantum computer, and if you had to take, and we have that technology right now, and Google has one of them, believe it or not, and a couple of the intelligence agencies in the world have a few others. And these quantum computers can solve problems and do calculations and whatnot in algorithms that, in certain algorithms that can solve problems which would take all of the computers on planet Earth combined, working in a network on the same problem, 400,000 years or so to solve. They would solve, this quantum computer will solve in 30 minutes. So, or less, probably 3 minutes. And it will run on something like the combination of graphene and I forget the other probably plasma or something to that effect. And it isn't going to be the operating system we're used to. So we're going to make some very big leaps in not only consciousness but technical advances that we've never seen before on this planet, and it's going to change our world completely.
So isn't that amazing? I mean, I've been following, you're talking about Google. So in the world of chess, right? The world chess champion in the early 2000s was a guy called Garry Kasparov, and he played in the late 90s. He played a game against the IBM. I think the thing was called Big Blue, and they drew. And after that, it was um, accepted that computers will start beating humans. Now your cell phone has a computer inside, a chess computer that could beat any human player. Like, I don't want to say with its eyes closed, but humans have no patch on computers anymore. But even more than that, the biggest chess computer, or the most advanced one, is one called Stockfish 11, which has all the games that the grandmasters have played in chess in their data in its database, and an analysis, and can beat any person in basically no time at all. And then Google went and they built a new thing called Alpha Zero. So Alpha Zero has actually no database. It's a self-learning computer. They only programmed the rules of chess in it, and this thing played against itself for 4 or 5 hours, taught itself the game, played against Stockfish, and beat Stockfish 98 times out of 100.
Well, that again is the biggest problem that humanity faces, is AI. And AI is our biggest nemesis. If we let this thing out of Pandora's box without a leash on, literally, and a cage around it, we're in deep trouble, because this thing can outlearn us. And if you create something that can beat its creator, you've got a problem.
Wow.
So
What is the guy
the
that
issue
was in
is
the
how do you,
the guy in the wheelchair, the guy that had the sickness that died the other day, the famous professor? What was his name? Anyway, he predicted. He said we were already too late.
we probably are already too late. And how do you keep this in Pandora's box? How do you keep it locked up? The thing is, humanity can benefit greatly from machines that can self-learn, but when they can self-learn, they can accelerate past you and you can't stop it. So it's a problem. So we leave it up to much smarter people to work this one out. But I would say that we're doing fine on our own, and we don't need the AI in the way we think we do. And the one thing that the machines will not be able to do, and that is be human. So they won't be able to experience love. They won't be able to experience empathy. They won't be creative. They won't be able to create something out of nothing. They can only do what has already been, what is already existing. So they can only learn from things that are already here. They may or may not be able to make changes and slight adjustments, but they're not going to be originators of creative, original thought.
No.
That is only, I think, I can't speak with any authority whatsoever, because I realize how little I know, and that's zero. So I know nothing. But the point being, which is embarrassing, but the point I'm trying to make is that humans need to work on what makes us human, and that's our strength. And we are able to create. We're able to create out of seemingly nothing, whereas machines won't do that. They will need to have existing stuff to build up.
Well, on that note, what we're going to create tomorrow night at the Prohibition Virtual Wine Bar is actually some excitement, some fun, and some enjoyment. Also, things that machines can't have. And we're inviting everybody to come tomorrow evening with a bottle of wine at 7 o'clock. We're launching the Prohibition Virtual Wine Bar. And Patrick, I think we need to get off here. We're having a few technical problems, so thanks for coming along. I'm going to switch off the live stream, and then we can still chat a few minutes. I just want
But
to
before
say,
you do it, maybe at the wine bar we can create a little prize, a T-shirt that we've one of our new runs we've just done from our merchandising. Maybe we give away a T-shirt as a sort of a lucky prize to somebody. You can work out how
okay, we can work out the details now when we get off. We're definitely giving away the cans, and maybe more than one T-shirt. Maybe we have 3 or 4 prizes,
Mhm.
and see what we're going to do. But thank you again, Patrick, for being on. And Yvonne van Eck just posted here about the ones. I saw that on the video. I think a part is just what the doctor ordered. I'm so sick of the monotony after lockdown. Sometimes I'm not sure if it's a blessing or a drag to be in a lockdown myself. I think I have to share with a partner who has been stabbing criminals. So Yvonne van Eck is pushing um, the party. So thank you, Yvonne. So we definitely
Well,
going to be
she's
quite
in
busy
line for the
tomorrow.
T-shirt, or she's already in line for the T-shirt. So
There we go.
okay, put it down. Yeah.
All right, Patrick. Thank you very much. I'm gonna log off here from the live stream, and you and I can keep on talking. I'd love to.
That's it.
And ciao, ciao, everyone. Good night. Thank you, and we.